ordinance that y'all brought up last council meeting, and y'all had suggested that you would vote on that during the next council meeting. So I just wanted to give some thoughts from the people. I'm a concerned citizen, and this is not something that I'm used to doing, so but I really felt like there was a huge outcry from the public, from the people, that they did not want this mask ordinance. And a lot of people said they were just going to shop somewhere else. And I felt like that was passive aggressive, and this needed to be dealt with head on, and y'all needed to know how the people felt about the situation, that it will hurt your town. We love our town, and our economy is already hurt so much. This will hurt businesses further, and we don't need to do anything that's going to hurt the town. So I wanted to be brief with this. I've actually sent a letter to y'all, certified mail. It's been notarized. I will also be handing you a hand-delivered letter today. So it has more detail. So I'm just going to go over the basics today, and I'll give y'all that more detailed information in that letter. So the first thing is your ordinance goes a little further than the state ordinance. Your ordinance says that age 2 and under are exempt from masks. The state ordinance says ages 6 and under are exempt from masks. You also have removed the medical exemption from masks, so the governor has stated that we do have the ability to do medical exemption. Sorry, not used to this. The state being the creator of these municipalities, the municipalities cannot create laws higher than the state. In other words, if an ordinance makes a stricter guideline than the state set up, in this case via medical or age, the municipal is actually going above the state law. Municipalities have authority to pass all laws and ordinances relating to municipal concerns subject to the Constitution and general laws of the state. This has been held by case law, and I have those cited in my letter. I can get those for you if you need to. But if the ordinance is in direct conflict with a statutory scheme, or if the statutory scheme occupies the field of regulation which a municipality seeks to enter, even where there is no direct conflict between two schemes of regulation, then there is no use for this. Those are the problems I have with the ordinance in particular. Now, I would like to discuss the state mandate and the constitutional issues that has as well. The powers of the governor, state in Alabama Code 3613-9, the governor is hereby authorized and empowered to give by executive order to existing agencies and instrumentalities of the state government such powers and duties which are not in conflict with the Constitution of Alabama and which are not specifically prohibited by the then existing statutes as may be required to implement in Alabama any law, order, rule, regulation, program, or plan promulgated by the federal government or any agency or instrumentality thereof for the welfare of the people of the United States, or as may be required in his judgment for the welfare of the people of the United States, or as may be required in his judgment for the welfare of the people of Alabama. If you look at that code, it says that Governor Ivy has her powers and duties cannot conflict with the Constitution of Alabama. If you look at the mandate, it conflicts with at least 9 of these sections. And I go into more detail in my letter. I list every single section of the Article 1, but I'm not going to go into detail on that here, unless y'all need me to. The mask mandate is unconstitutional, and even if it is not, enforcing it would be. You are then claiming that not wearing a mask, is a crime. So you say you've arrested 2 people. I don't know the instances of these arrests. I don't know if they got violent or anything like that, but I do want to go forward with this information and explain how arresting them could get y'all into maybe some trouble here. So in order for there to be a crime, you have to have 4 things. You have to have an unbiased witness, you have to have a victim, you have to have damages, and you have to have a public law violation according to Title 116 of the Alabama Code. If in any city, county, or state tries to extract money for their own coffers, for their own use, it is not a public law violation. Common law states that you must have all 4 of these in order to be a crime. It does not wearing a mask fit this criteria. That is what you have to ask yourself before you move forward with this ordinance. And I'll take it further. Article 1, Section 7, that no person be accused or arrested or detained except in cases ascertained by law and according with the form which the same has prescribed, and no person shall be punished by virtue of a law established and promulgated prior to the offense and legally applied. If the city of Jasper says they will arrest us if we do not wear a mask, there is no law stating that we must wear a mask. That's the wrong jurisdiction, and you cannot arrest us for not wearing a mask. Black's Law, 5th edition, page 1107. says a public offense is an act or omission forbidden by law and punishable as the law provided. Term used to describe a crime is distinguished from an infringement of private rights. A public offense, the commission of which authorizes private person to arrest another, including misdemeanors. In Alabama Code 116, it states, acts or omissions to which a pecuniary penalty is attached, recoverable by action by a person or his own use for the use or in whole or part of the state or of a county or municipal corporation, are not public offenses within the meaning of this code. The public is not the beneficiary, as the fine is the deprivation of rights and will benefit the city of Jasper. Thus, it is unconstitutional to have a mask ordinance implemented, and y'all will be in violation of Alabama Code 116. So I need to know, if y'all are going to move forward with this, what constitution and or statutory provision gives you the authority to overcome Article 1, Section 36 of the Constitution in order to violate, deny, or impair the rights of the people as enumerated in Articles 1, Section 1 through 35. This is the same article, Section 136, that our Chief Justice, Tom Parker, with the Alabama Supreme Court, stated in case law, and his quote was, Section 36 erects a firewall between the Declaration of Rights that precedes it and the general powers of government, including the authority to exercise judicial power that follow it. Article 1, Section 36 states that this enumeration of certain rights shall not impair or deny others retained by the people, and to guard against any encroachments on the rights herein retained, we declare that everything in this Declaration of Rights is accepted under the general powers of government and shall forever remain inviolate. So I think what we really need to remember here is that God is the creator, he's the ultimate power, he created the people, and the people created the government, and so the people are the government's source of power. And I hope that y'all will keep all that in mind, and I will also hand deliver that letter to you if y'all have any questions. I'm happy to answer.
Russ, other towns and has this been through the Constitution? I know Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, what's the...
There hasn't been any controlling legal authority yet. You know, the earliest of these ordinances probably goes back to probably June.
Right.
So it's not possible to say, you know, well, in the case of Smith versus City of Birmingham, the court upheld a mask ordinance, even though theirs is probably the main one folks are familiar with. Either theirs or Tuscaloosa's have probably been the most publicized. And so there are no reported decisions of any court, even a circuit court in a different part of the state. So I can't tell you that exists. I can advise that one thing that was, I guess, maybe absent was a recognition that municipalities in Alabama have the right to regulate based on the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens, over and above some of these other things that were mentioned. So that would be the source of the city's authority to make this regulation, if that's something the council chooses to do.
But, and Jim and Russ and the JPD is here, we're tasked, I mean, the way I understand the mandate, we just can't go, the governor's nuts, we're not doing anything.
Well, and to be fair, there have been some law enforcement agencies in the state that have made that statement. Of course, you know, without referring to any of them in particular, they all took an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Alabama. So I don't know how that is consistent necessarily with that oath. But your police officers, the council members, the mayor, took an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Alabama. So to the extent that we're dealing with the law of the state of Alabama, I think your point that you have an obligation to uphold that law is well taken.
The Attorney General actually sent a letter to the City of Birmingham telling them they should not do mask ordinance, told them that he felt it may be unconstitutional. So I don't know if that's also in my letter. Also, the state of Florida, the governor there, when he released the mask mandate on everyone, dismissed all fines that anyone had been fined, and I do believe he did that because it was unconstitutional. So those are a couple of things for you to consider.
Yeah, I don't know in constitutional, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the Florida Constitution. So I don't, that one I don't know.
It is very important, and I do feel that if y'all do move forward with this, and you start fining citizens, and you start arresting citizens, if you fine or arrest the wrong citizens, you're gonna have some trouble on your hands. So, just wanted to make sure y'all were aware of that before you move forward with this. So.
Anybody else?
Yes, I'm gonna say something. I'm Randy Line. I live at 534 Green Avenue, Cordova, Alabama, and I've got a little flimsy mask, and I've gone to the hospital with it. Is this about controlling the virus or controlling people? What's this about? Is this like the United States of America, with us going around with this stuff? This is not about freedom. This is about controlling us. That's my opinion. And what I think is, let me get my glasses on where I can read this correctly because I want to state it properly. First place, there's two sides to every story. There's two sides. There's those who believe that there is a need for a mask in order to protect us from a virus. I don't need you to wear this mask or any mask to protect me from a virus that might kill me. I want to go to heaven, okay? I'm not afraid to die and go to heaven. That's fine with me. So I'm not worried about you protecting me with a mask. I'll be glad to go and help take care of people who are sick with the virus and not wear a mask. I don't care. Wearing a mask is not going to determine whether I care about people or not. And that's one of the things that we've got in this whole mask thing is that think, well, hey, this mask, if you wear a mask, it's because you care about people. If you don't wear a mask, then you don't care about people. You kidding me? This is going to determine that I care about people? The reason I wear a mask is because you require me to, not because I care about people. It has nothing to do with whether I care or don't care. I care about people. I love people. And as a result, I want them to have freedom to choose whether they want to wear a mask or not. There are those who are saying the mask helps. There are those who say no, it doesn't. Why do I want to give up my freedom to choose which side I believe? I believe in the freedom of not wearing a mask. Then why would I want to be forced into having to wear something when I don't? That's not freedom. That's not my choice. This is America. And, why do you want to have, you really haven't, you make an ordinance like this, you make a law like this, it's going to have a chilling effect and violate my constitutional rights as a citizen of the United States of America.
So you think your surgeon should be able to not wear a mask?
That's right. Well, now, it's his choice. His choice. He wants to wear a mask or not wear a mask. But, that's up to him. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's a difference in going into a situation where you have a quarantined person and you want to protect yourself in a correct, proper way. But this is not a correct, proper way. It's ridiculous.
And you're not sick.
And I'm not sick. Why quarantine well people? You need to quarantine sick people who may have a problem, not well people. Anyway, it's just there's a lot to it, and I think we're just violating the constitutional rights of people's freedom, is my opinion.
Can I
Yes,
also?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to address something. I had something else I wanted to address, but you said a surgeon. Well, sir, I work in surgery. I have for 25 years. I don't wear a mask to keep somebody from catching a virus that I'm operating on. I wear a mask because we are open. You're wide open on the table. We do speak back and forth. I don't want to put my sputum in your wounds. It's not protecting you from something that's airborne. It's protecting me from getting blood on my face, and it's protecting your body cavity so that I don't spit into your body cavity while I'm speaking, because as you're speaking, you're spitting, okay? That's the whole purpose of a mask in surgery, so that point is moot.
I disagree with you. I'm a surgeon.
Good,
So
then you should know
I
better.
disagree with you.
So you should know better. So next point. He
To me,
said-
you wear a mask to protect the patient. So,
To keep your spit. I
agree.
mean, if you're worried about giving somebody a virus, you've never been worried about TB? People walk around with active TB all the time, you'd never know it. So to me, it's moot. To his point of, you guys were elected, you're sworn to uphold the law. Aren't you sworn to uphold the Constitution when you take your oath? Is the Constitution not a law? If it is, then you're bound by that. I mean, if you don't believe me, look up U.S. Code, Title I. Tell me what kind of a law it says it is. The Constitution is a law. It's organic law, and it says it on the very front page after you open the cover of the book. So you guys can sit here all day and say, well, we're just doing what the law. No, you're not. You're sworn to uphold the Constitution who the people stand on. We govern what happens. We put you where you are. We're your boss. So if you're violating my right to self-autonomy, my right to my pursuit of happiness, wearing a mask doesn't make me happy. Me being a healthy person and being looked upon like I'm some kind of hateful person, I'm a volunteer firefighter. Like I said, I've been in medical care for 25 years. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, like he said, the chilling effect that this is having on our society as a whole. It's very chilling. It's very scary. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Yes, sir.
I do have a question about I'm not real understanding of how a law gets into effect. You said there's a ordinance. Is that automatically a law? Is that the way it works? If you don't decide you place an ordinance, it's automatically a law, so therefore they can arrest us because of that? I'm not understanding that part.
Has to be adopted by a majority vote of the council and then published in accordance with, Kathy, is it 1145-1? Or there's a specific provision of the Code of Alabama that requires that it be published. Once it's duly adopted and published, at that point it's effective.
So this mass ordinance has not gone through that process? Is that what you just did?
That's correct.
Okay.
At the local level.
It has to the state.
It has at the state, Russ, it falls under a different thing at the state, right?
You said it did pass at the state? I don't remember voting on
No,
it.
it falls under.
Yeah, I don't remember legislation.
Yeah, I didn't vote either.
It's a mandate, there's a difference.
That's what I was trying to find out.
Law is a
How
different
how they forcing a mandate, but if it's not the law, you can't
They
force a
can't.
mandate.
Exactly.
It's not a law, it's not jurisdiction.
Exactly.
Because I got kicked out of the courthouse over here yesterday trying to get my driver's license because I wouldn't wear a mask because they're saying it's a law. I don't understand.
They don't understand what they're saying. They don't understand what they're enforcing. They need to read their Constitution.
Okay, anybody else? Kyle, JC, y'all have anything to add to it? Okay. Any questions on y'all?
I do, sir. I just want to say that we are sworn to uphold the laws and the order set down by, the governor. We're asking for a less severe way of being able to enforce that.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking.
You're
That's why
taking
I
away
said
our
that.
exemptions.
I'm not going to argue whether it's the Constitution or not. I'm asking, we're asking that we have a better way to enforce or a less severe way to enforce.
A less
It says
severe
it's not
way
a
that
law.
takes
How
away
can you have
exemptions.
to enforce something that's not a law?
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're gonna move on. We appreciate